Viewers and subscribers, welcome back to the Sports Perspective TV. So the West Indies Championship is done now. Congratulations to Guyana on retaining their title. And now that the championship is finished, then we as cricket lovers and fans of West Indies cricket, now we just wait with great anticipation to see what team the selectors will select for the upcoming England series. So in this video, going to be looking at the opening spot. That's a spot that's been troubling for the West Indies. In the past few series, and there were some brilliant performances in the championship this year. So we're going to be looking at the opening spot and kind of just try to anticipate or from my opinion share what I think the selectors will do when it comes to picking the openers for the England series. Right. So starting, obviously, Craig Brathwaite is the captain of the team, and he has been a very consistent performer for the West Indies team in Test cricket, over the past few years. So, there's no doubt that Craig Brathwaite will be, one of the openers, that's not only in the squad but in the 11. He's the captain of the team, and he's the leading run scorer. So that's a no-brainer that Craig Brathwaite will be the opener. But the big question now is, who will be his opening partner, in those matches against England. It's been Tagenarine Chanderpaul'S for a few years now. And Tage, at the beginning of his career, he did put up some brilliant performances, but over the past few years, he's been found he's fell short, as far as his contribution with the bat for the West Indies, which has raised a lot of questions, for us fans of West Indies cricket, whether or not, he deserves a spot in the England team. But so if starting with Tage, so let me start with who, if Tagenarine Chanderpaul'S is not selected, who are some possible replacements, right? So, obviously, Mikyle Louis, the Winward Islands batsman, he was the leading run scorer in the West Indies Championship this year. He was a consistent performer throughout the entire championship. And many people would argue, myself included, that he deserves a spot in the West Indies team. Even if he's not in the starting lineup, he definitely deserves a spot, in the squad, based on his performance in the championship this season. He was the most consistent batter, the highest run scorer, and he played some brilliant innings, and in those innings, he displayed a lot of good qualities, that, you look for in an opener, great temperament. His shot selection was brilliant. He plays some brilliant shots. Very easy looking on the eye. So for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people would agree with this, that Mikyle Louis, definitely deserves a spot in the West Indies squad going to England. So just to review of his performance this year in the championship. So he scored 682 runs from 7 matches, at an average of 48.71. And yes, I know it's just regional cricket, and the competition at the highest level is will be a lot stronger than he's faced in regional cricket. But as they say, experience is the best teacher. So you have to give the young man a chance to prove himself, against the best quality, bowling. And England will definitely pose a challenge for the team. But if he's not given a chance to show what he can do against high quality opponents, then we'll never know if he's able to play at the highest level. He was the highest run scorer again, like I said, and he's young. He's only 23 years old. So he has a lot of years of cricket, a lot of cricket playing years left in him. This is just the beginning of his career. So getting the experience to play in England, would definitely do well for him. Even, like I said, even if he's not in the starting lineup, you know, just having that experience of being in the squad around the players, you know, getting familiar with how international cricket is played would be great for him. But if he's in the team, that means that, you know, one of the openers that was in the Australia series would not be, you know, included in the squad, right? So it would either be Tagenarine Chanderpaul or Zachary McCaskey. So reviewing Tagenarine Chanderpaul's performance in the championship. So he scored 323 runs from his 7 matches at an average of 29.36. You know, would definitely have loved to see if Tage's average was higher than that, and even if he scored more runs, you know, but he didn't. But what I think Tage has in his favor is, of course, the experience of playing in Test cricket at the highest level against some of the best teams in the world, you know, namely Australia. He's played against England before. So he has that experience of playing in Test cricket and knows what, you know, Test cricket is all about, right? And I think that will be a plus for Tage in the eyes of the selectors. Not saying that it's guaranteed that they will select him, you know, but his experience, I think they should and will consider his experience, you know, when deciding whether or not to include him in the team. You know, and also just the Australia factor, you know, the performance of the team against Australia was brilliant, even though Tate didn't perform as well, you know, but just by virtue of him being a part of that squad, it doesn't guarantee him a spot, like I said, you know, but it puts him in a favorable position with the selectors, you know, based on the performance of the entire team in that Australia tour. So personally, I think the selectors will include Tagenarine Chanderpaul in, like I said, even if it's not in the starting lineup, I think he will be included in the squad that tours England. You know, other options, you know, Zachary McCaskey, you know, he was on that Australia tour as well, and he didn't get any playing time, but, you know, he was in the squad. So his performance in the championship this year, so he scored 353 runs from his 7 matches at an average of 29.41. You know, so his average is just slightly better than Tagenarine Chanderpaul in the same competition from the same amount of matches. But what I would say Tage, you know, have over him is the experience of playing in Test cricket. You know, and that might give Tagenarine Chanderpaul the edge over him. You know, based on performance, you know, he only scored 30 runs more than Tage in the championship. So they're pretty much neck and neck as far as the amount of runs scored in the championship this year. You know, so if there's anything that I think will give Tagenarine Chanderpaul an edge over McCaskey, you know, would be, you know, his experience one, and then also the fact that he is a left-handed batsman. You know, it's good to have variety in the batting lineup, and Tagenarine Chanderpaul being left-handed, you know, as you know, the left-hand, right-hand combination, you know, is something that's valued by a lot of teams in cricket, you know, as it poses just different challenges for the bowling lineup, you know, for the team bowling against a left hand, for the bowler bowling against a left hand and right-handed combination, you know, it provides different challenges. The bowler have to make adjustments to his line and so on and so forth. So I think, you know, the fact that TH is a left-hander and his experience, you know, would give him that edge over Zachary McCaskey. And I'm going to throw in a wild card as well. Brandon King, you know, even though he didn't bat as an opener in the championship this year, so he played 3 matches in the championship, scoring 216 runs, you know, at an average of 36, right? But he was batting in the middle order for Jamaica. But as we all know, Brandon King is an opener. He can bat at the top of the innings, and he has you know, indicated his interest in playing Test cricket, you know, which is a part of the reason why he even made himself available to play in the championship this year for Jamaica. So Brandon King would be my wild card. Whether or not the selectors will pick him, again, none of us know. We just have to wait and see, you know. But if Brandon King is available and is in the squad, then, you know, to be honest, I think Brandon King would be a good addition to the West Indies Test squad. You know, even if it's not as an opener, just being a middle order batsman. You know, he can do either. You know, he can either bat as an opener or in the middle order, as he showed in the championship this year. He has a slight injury concern right now, but, you know, I'm sure by the time the series comes around, you know, he will be fit. You know, and he should be fit. You know, as you know, the T20 World Cup is coming up before the England series, so you never know what will happen with players. You know, in a format, the T20 format, you know, which is high intensity, and it players do exert a lot of stress on their bodies. You know, in that format, so anything is possible. But Brandon King would be my wild card guess. You know, as far as, you know, who will be the openers, you know, in the England series. But so for me, I would say Tagenarine Chanderpaul'S and Zachary McCaskey, you know, will be the openers that accompany Craig Brathwaite. No, so Tagenarine Chanderpaul'S and Mikyle Louis, not McCaskey, sorry. So Tagenarine Chanderpaul'S and Mikyle Louis would be the openers that accompanied Craig Brathwaite in the squad. You know, and as to who will be in the starting lineup, you know, it depends. You know, there are a lot of matches that will be played in England, you know, so they all might get an opportunity depending on how they perform, you know, in the matches when they do get a chance to bat. Brandon King as well, he might be included in the squad, but like I said, he's just a wild card that I was, you know, thinking of, you know. Maybe not, you know, he might be in there as just to bolster the middle order, you know, as a middle order batsman, you know, with his experience. You know, he has years of experience playing for West Indies in one-day cricket and in T20 cricket as well, you know. And Brandon King is someone that we've always said, we have, as West Indies fans, I've always said that, you know, he bats as someone that could possibly do well in Test cricket, you know, so he might be included in the middle order, you know, based on his experience to bolster the batting lineup, you know, if he's ever needed, you know, to bat or in the starting lineup. So yeah, so I would say Craig Brathwaite, you know, Tagenarine Chanderpaul'S and Mikyle Louis, you know, are going to be the openers that make the England squad. But let me know what you think in the comment section, viewers and subscribers. You know, which openers do you think will be, you know, in that squad to England? You know, and as always, you know, thank you for tuning into the video. You know, do remember to subscribe to the channel. You know, and there's a lot more quality content that will be coming. And like the video as well. And like I said, share your thoughts in the comment section. You know, let me know which openers you think should be in the team, and who you think will make the squad to England. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.